10 must-try traditional British dishes. Here are 10 traditional British dishes that I highly recommend eating when you visit the UK. Make sure you stick around for my personal favourites at the end of the video. Let's kick off with the ideal way to start your day. In England, a full English breakfast, also known as a fry-up, is a substantial meal to kickstart your day. In my opinion, it's better to have one of these as a brunch, in other words for both a breakfast and a lunch, after 11 o'clock. So it's ideal for a weekend when you get up later. A fry-up is quite a personal thing, so the ingredients vary depending on individual preferences. A full English breakfast typically contains sausages, bacon, eggs, tomatoes, mushrooms, fried bread and baked beans. The best place to order a full cooked breakfast is in a cafe or some pubs. Another great place to have one of these is in a bed and breakfast hotel. A Sunday roast or a roast dinner is a big late lunch that we typically have on a Sunday or a bank holiday. This is commonly cooked at home for a family lunch, or it is also available in many pubs on Sundays. Bear in mind that you may have to make a reservation for a Sunday roast in a pub. We would have this meal between 2 and 5 o'clock. It consists of roasted meat, in other words, slowly cooked in the oven. The meat is usually chicken, beef, pork or lamb. It will be accompanied with roast potatoes or perhaps mashed potatoes and things like a Yorkshire pudding, a baked pudding made from a batter of eggs, flour and milk or water, stuffing, which is a savoury mixture of ingredients that is often stuffed inside a roast chicken, and topped with gravy, a kind of sauce from the juice of the roasted meat. We use this sauce with other meals too. A selection of vegetables will be served as part of a roast dinner, such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, parsnips or peas. Bubble and squeak. This traditional dish is usually made of cold vegetables that have been left over from a Sunday roast lunch. Food that is left over or not eaten is known as the leftovers. This will consist of potatoes and veg like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, carrots, mixed together and mashed or crushed and then fried until it becomes a kind of crispy omelette, but without eggs. As this dish is made from the leftovers of a Sunday roast, it is more common to have this at home the day after. But you can get this in some pubs that serve traditional pub food or pub grub. The name of this dish comes from the reactions and sounds made by the ingredients when they are being fried in the frying pan. Fish and chips. In case you didn't know, fish and chips is a hot dish of a fried fish fillet in batter served with chips. This is commonly a takeaway dish, and fish and chips are the most popular takeaway food in England. You can order this in a fish and chip shop, takeaway restaurant, which is also known as a chippy, or some pubs. This fish will be battered, in other words cooked in batter, which is a mixture of flour and eggs coated over the fish, which is then deep fried. The batter makes the fish crispy and extra tasty. White fish like cod and haddock is mainly used, but other options include hake, plaice or skate. British chips are usually considerably thicker than American style French fries and will be homemade at good fish and chip restaurants. Make sure you sprinkle your chips with salt and malt vinegar for extra flavour. A popular side dish in the UK is mushy peas, which is a dish of mashed up green peas. Typically in the UK, the best fish and chip shops or restaurants are located in the coastal towns. This is usually because the fish is fresher. A ploughman's lunch. If you fancy a lighter meal, especially when the weather isn't so cold, then order a ploughman's lunch in a pub. Though served cold, a ploughman's is not for salad lovers. It's built on cheese, pickles, sliced meats, or sometimes a slice of pork pie with bread and butter. The name ploughman's originated from the lunch prepared for a ploughman, an agricultural worker in the past who would use a plough to move the earth or soil to take into the fields. Steak and kidney pie. The UK is famous for its savoury pies, and the traditional steak and kidney pie is a quintessential example. This pie is savoury, meaning salty instead of sweet, and is filled with a mixture of diced beef, in other words cut or chopped finely, diced kidney and onion. It is baked in the oven and is typically served with mashed potato. This is a real traditional pub meal, so the best place to order one of these is in a decent pub. Bangers and mash. Bangers and mash, which is also known as sausages and mash, is a traditional British dish consisting of sausages and mashed potato. The dish is usually served with gravy or onion gravy, but it may also include fried onions and boiled green peas. This dish may be prepared at home, as it's easy to make, but it's considered traditional pub grub, so you'll be able to find this in most pubs that serve food. It's all about the quality of the sausages here, so the most expensive versions will have the better ones. The word bangers refers to the sausages, and apparently this originated from the First World War, when, because of food shortages, extra water was added to the sausages to make them bigger. When the sausages were cooked, the water content would cause them to explode with a bang because of the extra steam. Mashed potatoes is often shortened to mash in British English. Lancashire hot pot. A Lancashire hot pot is a dish originating from Lancashire in the northwest of England. This is a kind of stew, which is a dish cooked very slowly, first at a high temperature and then simmered at a low temperature in a large cooking pot. This dish consists of lamb and onion and is topped with sliced potatoes. The Lancashire hot pot is thought to have originated during the cotton industry in the 19th century. It's a simple meal that would be left to cook slowly all day, ready for the hungry cotton workers at the end of their shift. The hot pot basically refers to the food being cooked in a big pot that is heated. Although this originates from the north of England, you can find this in many pubs all over the country. Cornish pasty. A Cornish pasty originates from Cornwall in the southwest of England. This is a savoury kind of pie that you can sometimes order as a pub meal, but more commonly you can grab one as a takeaway meal from bakeries. A traditional Cornish pasty is a kind of pastry filled with a mixture of diced beef, potato, swede and onion. They were traditionally made for workers to take into the mines around Cornwall. And now for my personal favourites, shepherd's pie or cottage pie. These are two different dishes, but they are essentially the same thing, except that cottage pie is made with beef and shepherd's pie is made with lamb. This is basically either lamb or beef minced meat, topped with a layer of mashed potato and oven baked in a big oven dish. It will also contain vegetables like carrots, onion and green peas. It is baked until the topping becomes crispy and golden. This dish was originally made as a frugal and practical way for shepherds and rural communities to make the most of their ingredients and prevent wasting any leftover meat. The name cottage pie was first used in the 18th century when the poorer people in Britain who lived in cottages in the countryside started using potatoes as an everyday food, and the cottage pie was originally made with leftovers from the Sunday roast. Again, you can find these in most pubs that serve traditional British food. If you have tried any of these traditional British dishes, please let me know if you like them in the comment section below. Make sure you check out this video on vocabulary for fish and chips. If you want to learn British English with me, hit the subscribe button to join the community and put some icing on your English.